Hi everyone. First, I'd like to say congrats to all of the students receiving awards tonight and to everyone for making it through this really difficult year. I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Kenzie Clark and I graduated from Gould in 2013. I'm currently in my 4th year of graduate school working on my PhD in chemistry at Princeton University. I grew up in a really small town in northern Maine and I never imagined that I would go to boarding school and I never knew anyone who was a scientist. Somehow though, after getting involved in ski racing, I ended up coming to Gould starting in my sophomore year. While I was at Gould, I did so many of the things that you probably all do now, even if they looked a little bit different this year. I raced on the bordercross team, I played soccer, I looked forward to Snowball and Mountain Day and Winter Carnival, and I was a member of the Manning Advisory. I'm really excited to share my story with you all today because so many of the things that are important in my life today really started when I was at Gould. My journey to becoming a scientist really started in my science classes back at Gould with Mr. Seekman, Mr. Seltham, and Miss Eaton. For my senior 4-point project, Mr. Seekman helped me get in touch with a former advisee's parent, and she helped me to set up a week of job shadowing opportunities at different biotech companies around Boston. I had such a great time during this experience, and I knew I wanted to continue pursuing science. After Gould, I ended up attending Dartmouth College where I studied biochemistry. As soon as I got to Dartmouth, I looked for ways to get involved in research, and I quickly joined the lab of one of my professors for my first year. I worked in that lab for all 4 years, and I wrote my senior thesis with him. It was right before my senior year at Dartmouth that I reached back out to one of the women I had job shadowed back during my senior 4-point, and she helped me set up an internship for the summer before my senior year. During this internship, I had an incredible mentor who helped me apply to grad school and introduced me to the professor who is now my PhD advisor. Today, my work focuses on finding new molecules produced by bacteria that can potentially function as antibiotics. This work is really important to us because, as you may have heard, we're running out of antibiotics with rising resistance to the ones we currently have. So it's important to find new antibiotics that we can use to replace some of these ones with resistance. From all of this in my story, the most important thing that I can stress is the importance of networking. Even though I grew up in a small town in northern Maine and my parents didn't go to college, I felt like I didn't have much of a network. But through my connections at Gould, I was really able to make up for this and find these opportunities that led me to where I am today. One of the other important lessons I learned from Gould was the importance of getting outside of your comfort zone. For me, leaving my hometown just to come to Gould my first year was a huge jump outside of my comfort zone, and this did not stop once I got there. I was always participating in activities like Polar Bears Club, Earn Your Turns, and Junior 4-point, and these experiences all really taught me to enjoy the satisfaction of doing these incredibly difficult things. These lessons have really paid off during my PhD. There can be a lot of late nights in the lab, and I can sometimes work for months without having any positive results. During these times, it can feel kind of like day 6 of Junior 4-point, where the oatmeal tastes like chili from the night before, and you have to do crunches in your sleeping bag just to stay warm. But I remember that it will really be worth it in the end, and these experiences have really helped me to keep going and finish my PhD. So far, I've focused a lot on my experience as a scientist, but there are also so many other things that are important to me. At Gould, I really learned the importance of balance. Even though I worked really hard in my classes and stayed up late doing homework a lot, I always found ways to make time for my friends and for the outdoors. Starting with my orientation trip with Mr. Manning and continuing on so many weekend adventures with Mr. Hayward and others, I really developed a passion for the outdoors at Gould. This continued in college, and part of the reason I chose to go to Dartmouth was so that I would have better access to the outdoors. While I was there, I went on climbing and hiking trips basically every school break, and I eventually was the president of the climbing club. Moving to New Jersey for grad school has made getting outside a little bit more difficult, but I still find ways to climb in the gym, and I go on climbing trips whenever I can take a vacation. Throughout all this time, these experiences outdoors have really helped me to have balance in my life and remind me that there are other things that are important than just working all the time. At Gould, it was never just about the academics, but was about developing the whole person and finding things you're passionate about. For me, those passions have been climbing and science, but I'm sure each one of you has things that you're passionate about too. I know that if you find these things you're passionate about and work hard at them, you will be successful. Again, congratulations to all of the students receiving awards tonight, and good luck to everyone.